For the latest film interviews, reviews, and everything making news in pop culture, subscribe to Film Companion now.
The one thing that I've always found distressing, and this is not about newcomers, it's generally about people who come to pitch, is when they come with a Dhobi list. And Samir knows how, he and I have had many conversations over this. How am I supposed to figure out what you really care about if you say I have these 10 ideas? I mean, it's impossible, right? So my advice has always been pick the 2, 3 that you really care about. Hey, pick one. I know time is precious and you want to, get the attention and potentially foot in the door and all of that stuff. But that's not the only thing that we're looking for, right? It's not just the idea alone. We're looking for how clear your thinking is, how passionate you are, how well you understand the idea that you're presenting. There have been times when, it happens. There are so many people working on so many themes that some themes seem very similar and I have to stop people from saying, don't go any further because we have something similar being worked out. That's no fault of yours. But that doesn't mean you won't get another chance. It's extremely disappointing for me when someone sits down and says, wait a minute, I've got 11, 12 ideas and I'm going to throw all of them at you and then let me see which sticks.
For us, it's always better to have a pilot written. 100%. You have to have a pilot written because just idea is not good enough. You have to have a pilot written and ideally a short film at least. Because that every second person wants to be a writer and director and all of that, but and they come up with a great idea, but that's not enough. You need to put in the initial work and come up with. And nowadays, equipment is also not such a big deal. You've got such high-end cameras in phones and all of that, and editing is also so simple. There's absolutely no excuse for that. Anyone who's aspiring to do this should have a basic pilot ready and a short film done. I mean, I know a 10-year-old who runs a YouTube channel of her own. So I don't see any reason why any of these people can't do that.
So I've been doing this for like 27 years now, meeting writers, new writers. And I definitely, this is completely, again, by gut, I'll say this. I do not believe only in body of work. I've seen some people having great body of work and then the material they bring to you is so shocking that you realize that, it could have been just like a shot in the dark. So I always react to material and I don't react to people. So if I have someone who's come with a great story, it doesn't matter if they've written 5 shit stories before that. Or they've written 5 classics and they come with a shit story, it doesn't matter to me. I react on material.
But you want to see that?
Yeah, I need to hear the story. First of all, I don't read that easily. I like stories told because I believe in that, a very old school when it comes to it. I believe when a writer narrates a story, it gets a life of its own. And many a times when I've liked the idea, I've called a writer into the room and I've probably liked the storytelling and the way the writer, and not just narrative style. Some people narrate very well, but sometimes they just have more empathy attached to the characters and that comes through, and I've been those moments. Like, there were these writers who came in and they were new Gujarati writers, and Samir sir knows that they had no body of work behind them. One of them was a worker in a bank, and Kyunki Saas came out of it. So I don't believe in that. That concept that there should be something behind. So that's completely my personal journey.
What we do is that, we get ideas from everywhere and lots of people have ideas and everyone, now wants to do this. And there are so many creative people out there. I think the one little difference we do is that we are not so fussed about, what's the level of material written or what comes to us as much as, how one is, of course, how exciting or interesting that idea is to start with, because we know that if we like it, we are going to get involved and we are going to help this process. I suppose going forward, what we look from there on is how passionate and committed the person is towards what we are now going to set out to do. So like as Vijay said, that it's going to be a pretty long journey. It's going to be 18 to 24 months. It's going to be quite the long haul. And if they're the creator who wants to really make this happen, it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of dedication and intense focus. So if you've got somebody, like oftentimes we get great ideas from people who are doing 6 different things. And so they are like, they've almost come and pitched to you and they've got another meeting and another meeting and another meeting. mostly we give miss to those kind of things, so if you're like terribly busy, then you're probably not for us. We're a bit of an exclusive relationship, that let's not be too complicated, not very polygamous at all, that kind of thing. I think that's important for us because we spend a lot of effort in that. But we help. I mean, if you're working together, then we'll spend a lot of time, money, and effort behind that.
If you look at just the sheer amount of opportunities we've created for young writers, new writers, directors, even and actors over the last 3.5 years, it's pretty evident that our philosophy is that a good story can come from anywhere, and we stick to that. So I resoundingly agree with Ekta. I don't believe what precedes or what succeeds an individual's effort really matters. What matters is the material. So to that extent, I think one of the things that I've always found working in favor of is people who do their homework. And what I found as a disadvantage is people who don't understand the difference between an idea, a concept, a synopsis, and a story. And so my simple advice to anyone is, while we're never prescriptive about what you bring, it is really important for you to bring enough material that allows us to see your vision, understand who the story is for and what emotions it's likely to evoke and everything else that I spoke about earlier. At least get a glimpse of that, and we read one hell of a lot. Aparna and her team are like doing that 24/7. They're awesome in giving notes and coverage, but very often we find that the material is so wanting because they're trying to either believe that one page extra is one page too many. So they kind of get confused between, am I presenting a synopsis? Am I presenting a story? And I think it's really important for people to understand that. And finally, I think it is important to understand if that person is authentic to the story. Because several times I've found that, they're trying to write stories that are not necessarily within their own realm of experience or, their voice, and that becomes hard. And the ones that are new, I've always found the ones that are the folks who are really effective in coming through as authentic are those who are also the first to admit that, hey, listen, they haven't done enough, and they're leaning on us to guide them and package them with the right producers and whatever else. So I think it's a combination of these things, Anu, and I think people need to understand that there's ample opportunity out there, but you got to do the work.
So I believe art is many things to many people, and for some it's escapism. Like if I'm looking for a Nagin script, I want it to be absolutely entertaining. And since the digital medium is an inclusive is a alone, should I say, it's individualistic viewing medium. For that, usually I would look for something that in some way derives some emotion out of you. So, like once I heard an interview which said that you fight sleep. So now when I sit for scripts on apps, if I feel that I myself want to know what's going to happen next, then that script becomes far more interesting for me. Right. So while you look at different things in different scripts, escapism, relatability, sometimes suspension of reality also. What you usually, as a ground rule, I at least personally look for a script on my app would be how interested, how invested I am to want to hear the next episode before some other meeting calls me, right. Or how interested I am to know what's going to happen, how invested I am in these characters to not finish this process of scripting. And that for me, at least on digital, is the imperative thing, which shows me if I'm having some emotion catered to some form of engagement,
Oftentimes, as Vijay was saying, ideas start off by being really brilliant, but as we go down the path of development, we realize that maybe not so good. Sometimes, what sounds good, we can't sort of take it across the line from an actual execution point of view. Sometimes good ideas just turn out to be bad. So I mean, if we talk about 100 great ideas that we sort of like and sort of push for development, maybe 10 make it. So there's a lot of failure rate in this, which is quite exhausting because the failure rate is very high. But we're always trying to, sort of stay focused on that, as in, like, is this some sort of a new story that we are being able to tell? Why do we want to tell it? I really defer to Ekta on this, that, if you are making a dumb comedy, then make sure you make a really dumb comedy and don't get intellectual about it halfway, those kind of things. So whatever you're setting out to do, if you're setting out to make a psychological thriller, that's what you should do. Oftentimes I find, when you're making a thriller minute kind of show, suddenly everyone gets caught up with logic, which is not what the show requires, right? You don't need the logic for that. You're supposed to have, somebody getting beheaded every 30 seconds. So that's what you do. That's what a slasher movie is. So, it's that kind of thing. And we really focus on then the storytelling. So a good idea, it always starts with a good idea, unique, different, all of that. But I think the bigger trick is in it becoming, as a consumer, when we view it as a consumer, do we really like it? Would we want to see this? So I think that's our biggest filter. Do we want to see this kind of stuff?
I like to keep it as the 3 C's that I follow. The first is the customer. I mean, who's this being created for? And, to Ekta's point, what emotions are you expecting to bring out with that audience? Whoever that audience may be. It could be a very niche audience. It could be for a very large swath of customers. It doesn't matter. But what emotions do you want to stoke? What do you want them to take away from it? Are they going to feel good? Are they going to feel bad about our living environment and stuff like that? Are they going to be poignant? Are they going to be happy? Oh, that's very important. The second is, the creators themselves, the vision, the passion, and the way they're able to actually defend themselves and why they want to tell this story. So it's that classic, why this, why now, why you? And the why you is very important because this is ultimately driven by passion. No matter what insights we have and what lovely scripts we may have and an amazing cast and crew we may have, ultimately it only comes good if the passion is consistent. And then the third one for us has always been collaboration. This entire process is collaborative. This is not a one-way street. And what has stood out in success has been the ability for everyone in this mix to accept that all the feedback that's coming is not about people's different opinions or positions or egos or anything of that sort. It's really toward making the best version of the story available to customers. So being willing to collaborate, and collaborate is not the same as compromise. Let's be very clear about that. Being able to receive the feedback, work on it. And these things are important. And oftentimes I find that people don't realize that how important this is, because the journey, as we underscored a little while ago, is 18 to 24 months for just one season. Yeah. I mean, putting together one season of 8 episodes approximately, we're talking about 2.5, 3 films. You're talking about the lives of people engaged for at least 2 years. And then in success, you're talking about 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, you're going to grow into a different life stage working on things like this. So I can't emphasize the importance of collaboration enough. I mean, you may have the first 2 locked down, but without the third, I think, we do think a lot about that. Will the chemistry be there? And will the energy be as positive and high 2 years out as it is today?
None of our content is things that will keep anyone awake at 2:30 and want them to lose sleep and watch the next episode. So for us, it's slightly different. For us, we look at honesty and authenticity in the script. That's for us is very, very important. And how involved is the team behind it? I mean, are they 100% willing to back it? Have they done their homework? All of that. And how patient are they? Because for us, like I said, the process of making a show, and I'll come back to the Panchayat example again and again. The idea was conceived in 2016 and it finally saw the light of day. I mean, thanks to this one gentleman on this particular panel also, who had the belief that you could make a show about a village where nothing happens. Mm-hmm. And audiences would love to sit and watch something like that. So for us, it's very, very important that those things come through, and it is inherent to the TBF style of storytelling. So those are things that we look for in a script.
Well, actually, when you say that there's no reference point, that would be, it would be in our parlance regarded as an original idea then. that if it has no reference point, if it has no inspiration of any kind, it's not derivative from anything, it's not in any of the existing genres, which is fine. It's still a story that's being told. So then to go back to some first principles, like what Vijay said, was that, who is this for? Who is it being made for? What kind of, audience or customer you think you're reaching out to? Those kind of, sort of surround information around the idea as to, you've thought it through that, this is the thought and this is who I think it would appeal to. And this is the kind of genre and the storytelling style, and this is what I want to do. And even if there are no references, even if this is the first of its kind being made in this universe, even then, it still needs an explanation around it. It needs a sort of description around it, because otherwise, without that, oftentimes we hear this that, this is an idea ahead of its time. I don't believe in that. I don't think there's anything ahead of its time. If it's mostly something that didn't work. It's not ahead of its time.
So I would agree with what Samir is saying. Like when we conceived Panchayat, for us, in our mind, it was to be the modern day Malgudi days. So that was a good reference point for us. And when we conceived Tripling, maybe a Dil Chahta Hai or Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, those were decent reference points for us. And then we did our own little twist, saying that instead of a road trip with friends, how about having a road trip with siblings? So you can always get reference points for anything and everything.